headliner is Mike Reynolds. Half the room is here for you. He is a husband, father, and CEO in that order. Mike is the founder and CEO of Innovate Map, a product agency located in Broad Ripple that has started in 2014. His team of 12 has worked with over 40 indie-based companies to achieve better product. He resides in Brownsburg, Indiana with his wife, Polly, and their 5 kids, ranging in ages from 5 to 14, and 2 golden retrievers named Copper and Penny. Mike is not, when he is not at Innovate Map, he is either coaching or cheering at one of his kids' sporting events, which in attending some kind of high-tech meetup, which usually has a craft beer in his hand. He thrives around people, a whiteboard, food, storytelling, and sports, particularly the Pacers and the Cubbies. Let's hope they win tonight. Okay. And then his family and employees love him. His peers respect him, and the indie tech scene is better thanks to his vision, passion, and expertise. Please help me in giving Mike a huge Sparks welcome as he comes to the stage.
I'm having a record year. Quarter notes and Hank's halftime. A pounding on this heart of mine. Song to song, I pass my time.
All right. So it's October 2013. I'm vice president of product at a very well-established software company in town. Nice job. I have 5 kids we just mentioned. I got 4 boys, 9, 7, 5, and 3, and a little girl that just turned 1. My wife stays at home and we have a number of kids, and it's her passion. And I come to her and I say, Polly, I want to quit my job and start a company. This is not news to Polly. This is something I always talked about doing, but this time it was real. So we had to quickly formulate how we were going to do this. She's wonderful. She's behind me the whole time. And we come up with a master plan. A big anchor we put down on the ground first is I really want to figure out how this could be bootstrapped and not something that I seek funding for, which really put a lot of pressure on how we're going to get a path to revenue very quickly. So the first thing we do is we figure out a personal situation. We got to cut down our spending. I've got to stay at work from October to February. February, I'm resigning. We're going for it. We had enough money to do personally a 6-month runway. So when I start, I have 6 months. The goal cannot be just affording me. I'm not going to get into my business, but tell you a little about the idea. It is not something I could do myself. We're an innovative, creative agency, and what we were about to go to market doing, I needed a dream team. So it wasn't even just affording myself. I need to actually have enough revenue to afford the dream team. Any revenue we got in allowed and extended the vision and the dream. So that's a lot. We need to get to it. I need to hustle. Okay, so I'm going to talk about hustle for a minute. Hustle, if you look it up in the dictionary, very lame word, move fast. I'm not talking about moving fast here. Okay, I'm talking about hustling. A lot of pop culture definitions, dollar bill, make glamorous stuff. I don't know. That's not what I'm talking about either. If you read any entrepreneur book, there is a very special word to an entrepreneur, which is the word hustle. And what it means to an entrepreneur, the way I like to describe it, is bust your ass. Okay? And this was a time when we really had to bust our butt. So I'm going to talk about what that means and what hustle meant to me. Okay? So the first one, big lesson, no one cares. Very depressing, very enlightening moment early on. This is the life of an entrepreneur. Okay? It's very lonely, honestly. 4 out of the 5 days in a week are bad. Resiliency is the strongest strength that will actually push you through. It is not glamorous. And so it really commands that you put an action in place. Given one of the first things we had to lock down was a target market, given my network and relationships, chose to focus on Indianapolis, which meant I had to get our name out in Indianapolis, okay? Because no one knows about this. So one of the first thing I did, like I said, no one cares, no one's listening, is I went through all my LinkedIn contacts, all my contacts, my phone and everything, scoured the internet, local periodicals, and made a list that was my networking board. Okay, so put up 300 Post-it notes. Yes, in my house. This took over a wall in our house. My wife loved it. She was behind me. And basically put out a plan. I was going to schedule events and I was going to get my butt out there. That doesn't always go that well. Okay, so for starters, it's not easy to get a meeting. Best well-laid plans. It's got to be a mutual value exchange. No one's going to take a meeting with you. They don't care what you have to say. They might admire you, but admiration doesn't pay the bills. Okay? You get a lot of that, hey, these people love it. It does not bring in revenue. So I'm going to cite a very early on story. So we went full-time in March. 2 weeks into it is the event that I'm looking forward to. And I love that it's kind of funny, Tech Point is here. I went to the Mirror Awards. Okay, so Mirror Awards, this was my night. Okay, this is the unveiling. Telling Polly with my own dime, our own dime, I buy a tuxedo, I'm going alone. Okay, because I'm going to work the room. Okay, I'm going to work the room. I got every tech CEO in town going there. I go expecting left, and it was the right, okay? So I'm all amped up, ready to go. Everyone's gonna be like, Mike, what's up? I heard you're on your own. What are you doing? Here's 50K. Okay, it doesn't work like that. In fact, I realized very early on this was not the place. Very emotionally amped up for that event. About an hour into it, I realized nobody wants to talk to me. Everyone is honestly there celebrating with their team. It's actually poor form to even be working the room. So I sat in the back of the room, watched the awards, and just absorbed, admired. I wish one day we might be up there. Went home. My wife, who shares my excitement as I go out, I'm a high-energy guy, so I'm going, and it's going to be great. Did you make a sale? I didn't get anything. Okay, I didn't get anything. In the spirit of hustling, though, that was a Saturday night. Came home, took tux off, went to bed, set an alarm, 5 o'clock. We got to get back to hustling, okay? Make the most out of it. Walked away with a pamphlet. 200 companies listed in that pamphlet. They go on the board, okay? So now I've got 200 companies on the board. Those are leads. Those are leads. Now my board is overwhelming, okay? So I've got to figure out a way, how do I make prioritization of this? Lots of meetings, and very quickly on, meetings are kicking my ass. I'm going amped up as a lead. They don't like our idea. I'm going others. They don't like it as well. It's a lot of energy to wake up, drive, hit a meeting. So I set a goal for myself. So my goal was I was going to have I had to hit it hard. I was going to try to have breakfast, lunch, and a beer meeting every day, 15 a week. In the first 3 months, I never hit it. I hit 14 twice. Okay, I hit 14 twice. As I started doing this, I started learning about what's the best purpose of the meeting, because you have to have a goal, okay? So one thing that worked for me is I started realizing the meetings really fall into three things, okay? It is either a genuine sales lead, and it needs the proper preparation, have a goal in mind. And that goal doesn't mean you're transacting on the conversation. Your goal might mean, I'm going to have another conversation, or your goal might mean, can you introduce me to the right person? So have that goal. Second type of meeting was actually, I say it's marketing, it's not really marketing, it's really leave a positive impression. So you're just networking, you're playing the Kevin Bacon game, hoping you're resonating. What you're really doing is creating your networking to be a marketing channel for you. So every time I'm meeting someone, I'm making a valuable conversation to each, but I want to leave them with a positive impression to clearly explain what it is Mike Reynolds and Innovate Map are doing. You never know, and I'll say this just to fast forward briefly. A lot of our businesses come this way. I believe in the power of networking. Take a meeting. You never know. Leave a positive impression. Equip them. You just never know how that's going to go. The third meeting, I really advocate this, although too many entrepreneurs load up their schedule with this, take meetings for yourself, okay? I'm talking about selling and marketing right now. I've never sold before. I'm a product guy. I've been designing software for 20 years. I had to learn how to run a business, legal, financial, sales. I wasn't an expert. So about 20% of my meetings, as I was looking on my schedule, I would make sure that were for me. They were either me learning or they were me therapeutically. I had a couple other founding partners with me. 8-hour day, I lived for the hour I was meeting with them. It inspired me. It kept me going. Friends. But at the same time, you look at your schedule, and you've got to have it balanced. This is a good week. This is a good week. Couple sales meetings, couple marketing meetings, some meetings that I'm going to learn a little bit about that, okay? The other thing is that you can see in an entrepreneur is paralysis. It's the worst. You're moving fast, especially when you're hustling, okay? Make a damn decision, okay? So I've got all these things going on. This is the Eisenhower Matrix. This is something I've used tried and true for 10 years. As an entrepreneur, this is shit, okay? Okay, so I use this, I'm applying this, it's not working for me. Delegate. Delegate to who, right? Urgent versus non-urgent. Nobody's telling me, that's my problem, I can't figure it out, okay? So one thing that worked for me is I established a cadence which was the worry of the week, in which case I would wake up Monday, whatever was on my mind, trust me, something is on your mind every week. It could be very strategic, like, should I be getting funding? Should I pull the trigger on this hire? To tactical crap like, how do I get this meeting, or what's a proposal going to look like? What's my price? Should I be an S Corp LLC? My strategy was I jotted down the meeting, or the worry of the week. I looked, I made sure I had enough meetings scheduled. I asked questions, got data, made a decision. You move on. Okay, next one. One of my favorite worry of the week stories is a lesson that there's a time for that. So one of my best, I was looking forward to it for about 2 months, was I had a meeting with Bill Godfrey, former CEO and founder of Aprimo. By the way, sold this company for $500 million. Good meeting, asked him a lot of business questions. But I'll tell you, that week I had something on my mind. All these meetings, I've been putting on a little weight, okay? 20 Tap was my office. I mean, you talking omelets, I'm 2 beers and cheese curds every day, 4 o'clock. And this starts bothering the hell out of me, and I know I'm meeting the CEO, Bill Godfrey, and I asked him, I said, Bill, I just got to ask you, this is killing me, and I got to eliminate this word of the week. Put on some pounds. When you founded a Primo, what did you do about that? I mean, how'd you stay fit? And he looks at me and says, you don't worry about that. There's a time for that. It's not now. Okay? And the reason I love that story is it really brought to light the mode I was in. I was in survival mode. And obviously that's a not sustainable lifestyle. You gotta lose weight and get healthy, but it wasn't the time. The prioritization I've been doing on that is really what the moment required. So I want to comment real quick, which is, fast forward, hustling never stops. Starting a company is obviously a very big moment where you have to really kick it into gear. I still hustle to this day. There are a couple times in a year where the business or the situation really calls for you getting your ass out there and making it happen. A couple things are very different today, though. I'm not alone. Top left, I have a team, a support system, and it's wonderful. On the right is my family. Even though they may not be giving me legal or business knowledge, they've always been there for me, either with not, like I said, not legal advice, but maybe a hug or a kick in the ass. Even my boys, yes. I want to talk about when you hustle, what gets you going is you need something innate that is motivating you. What you see on the screen is the reason I hustle. So my family, my Innovate Map family and their families are the reason we step up. And I'm very proud of the picture on the top left. That is actually us at the Mir Awards, not alone. That's us celebrating as a team. We had the honor to actually be nominated for the Tech Startup of the Year and Innovator of the Year. And I look back today, and while we've not arrived and we have a great future moving forward, 5 of the 5 days are good. So thank you.